Using just Instagram stories, I've made over 8 figures in digital product sales online. So there's one hack that made everything easier is creating high converting story sequences. And right now I'm going to share with you the exact framework for how to do so. So we're going to start with the high level concepts that we need to understand in order to make good stories. And then I'm actually going to break down a live story slide by slide of really, really powerful stories that have generated a lot of money for my company. And then I'm going to give you the slide by slide copy of what you can use, like the physical words, so you don't even have to do any thinking. You can just put these words, and then I'm actually going to show you how to launch it within the first 24 hours. So if you never posted stories before, I'll show you how to do so, and I'll even give you a recording on my phone of me going through the different features of Instagram stories so you know exactly how to do so. And at the very end, I'm going to give you the 7-day content calendar. You ready? Let's go. So first off, you got to understand that stories is one of the fastest ways and most effective ways to get people's attention and build a relationship with them. Because the whole concept here is we need to get people from our content to our conversations, meaning the DMs. Because in the DMs, we can actually sell. We can actually have a relationship, advance, answer questions, overcome concerns and objections, and then actually make the sale. So stories do 3 things. They nurture, meaning they build a relationship. They educate, meaning they teach people on what it is that you do and how you can help them. And then they convert, meaning they help people actually just want to directly buy the product, okay? In your first 30 days after you actually start making content on social media, you want to focus on building a relationship with your audience through these stories. And so I always like to err on the side of giving way more value and build way more trust before you go for the call to action and start making sales. You don't want to do call to actions all the time, like on a daily basis, every single day, especially in the very beginning, because otherwise you're just going to burn out your audience and they're not going to want to look at your stories anymore because you're selling all the time, okay? So the ratio that I like to go for is an 80-20. 80% of the time, you should be doing value. Relationship building, showing your lifestyle, showing you, hey, what's a day in my life look like? Answering people's questions, talking about your life, right? That's what you should be focused on. And then the other 20% is going to be call to actions, meaning that's where you say, hey, message me this word or tap here on this link if you want to go ahead and get started. That's where you actually do the selling, okay? So for example, if you have 5 slides, okay, 5 slides within a 24-hour period, the first slide and second slide should be nurturing and educating. And in slide 3, you could have a call to action. And then slide 4 and 5, you go ahead and you nurture, educate again. So you see it as a sandwich. So value first, call to action in the middle, and then more value at the end, okay? The next concept you need to understand is the reason why stories are so powerful is because there's always a 3% of your audience that is ready to buy right now. They're solution aware, they're problem aware, and they know for a fact that you could help them. They just don't even know that you're available for, you could help. They don't know that you have an offer to sell them yet, but they know that they need something. So the 3% here are the people that if you just make a post right now and make an offer, hey guys, I'm looking for 5 people I want to help, they're going to reach out to you, right? So the bigger the audience, the closer you're going to get to this ratio. And that's why on a daily basis or every other day, we want to have at least one call to action slide so that we get these people to actually want to work with us, okay? The goal here is to get people to view our stories, become interested in us as a person so we build a relationship, and in our offers, and then send us a DM by metaphorically raising their hand, right? People raise their hand when they send you a DM. They say, hey, I'm interested in what it is. Could you give me more details? That's what happens when people DM you, okay? So on a daily basis, you want to do at least 3 stories. That's the bare minimum, okay? Because if you only post 1 or 2 slides, then you're never going to be able to add enough value to people, okay? And you want to change up your stories. You want to change your environment. So maybe one day you're coming out of the gym, one day you're at home with the family, another day you're at the beach or you're doing a hike. You want to show people your lifestyle and what a day in the life is like within your own personal life, okay? You don't want to go through more than 10 story slides because if people go to your Instagram, it's just boom, 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 all these stories. What ends up happening is it becomes extremely overwhelming for them and they just don't want to watch through them because it's exhausting and they just slide right by, okay? Do one call to action on a daily basis. If you feel like that's too frequent, then just go ahead and do one every other day. So you would CTA 3 to 4 times a week, okay? And then you want to make sure that each slide has simple text. You never want to have long paragraphs. Because if you have long paragraphs, what's going to happen is people get overwhelmed and they don't want to work with you anymore. You want to have simple lines, 1 to 2 sentences, 3 sentences. That's the way that you want to do it, okay? So let's talk slide by slide how you want to structure these stories, okay? So here I've given you the exact formula, and then I'm also going to break down here live some story slides so you can see me actually do this in action. So for example, the very first slide that you can do should be what I call a day in the life, which is where you let people know, hey, this is what I'm doing today. So you just got out of the gym, boom, take a photo. You slept in, you're on bed, you're with your family, or you're with your significant other, take a photo. You're driving your kids to school, take a photo. Maybe you're traveling, you're on a plane, take a photo, right? And then you can go ahead and add in your own personal results, okay? Hey guys, I just got a quick, awesome workout, and I can see that my body fat percentage is getting lower. If you're a fitness coach, you would do something like that, right? If you're selling a business product, for example, hey guys, I literally just gained 20 followers overnight because this one reel just went viral. Or if you made a sale, guys, I just made my first sale, or I just made my 10th sale, and literally I woke up to the sale this morning. The sale happened overnight when I was sleeping, right? You want to show your own personal result. And then if you're promoting an offer for another company, or you just want to highlight the value that your product has, you want to talk about the results of other people that are doing it as well. So you say, hey, my student or this person in my community just got this sale while doing X activity. So you want to respectfully, when I say brag, I don't mean brag as in actually be arrogant, but I know you want to show the fact that what it is that you're doing actually works. And the only way to do that is to share your own results and the results of your students and or peers if you're in a community, okay? And then slide number 2 is going to be text on a screen, educating people. So you want to expand on, well, if you talked about a sale that was just made, or you talked about the fact that you lost 5 pounds, well, how did you do that? And so on the second slide, you want to give some context and value, educating people on that. And then finally, slide 3 is going to be the call to action slide. So you're going to have something like DM me and then a keyword. So DM me the word now, DM me the word how, DM me the word me, right? You want to have a DM call to action, and then also or if you don't want to do a DM, you just want to send people directly to go to a link, then you would go tap this link right here. And then you're going to have a link that you can put to wherever you want to send them to. So that's going to be the CTA slide, right? Slide 4, what I like to do is I like to record a video format, because remember, people consume content in different ways. Some people only like to consume content when it's a photo. Other people like to consume content when it's a video format. So I would basically say what I said in slide 1, 2, and 3, but in a video format, and I would do so exactly like I did previously, but just video, okay? 60 seconds is what Instagram allows for you to record, so that's what I would do. And then slide 5, 6, and 7, what I would do here is I would do nurture slides. So remember, you already did some selling. You did selling on slide 3 and slide 4, so we have to give more value. Remember, 80-20, 80% value, 20% call to action. So for these 3 remaining slides, what I would do is I would go ask me a question, and I'll show you, if you don't know what that is, in the next few minutes here, how you can put a little question box where people can do a Q&A with you. So you can answer people's questions. You can talk about your lifestyle. So you can, film and show, hey, I'm going to the mall. I'm having a meal. This is what I'm eating today. This is how I work out today, right? You want to show people your lifestyle. And then you also want to just show people, oh my gosh, I just got this result. So, oh my gosh, I just got my first sale. Oh my gosh, this reel is going super, super viral right now, right? You want to talk about different results that are happening within a daily life. And a really simple way to say it is, how can I show a result while I'm doing something in my life? I just made a sale while taking my kids to school. I just made a sale while I was at the gym, right? Now that's specifically a business context, right? But you can do this in any capacity if you just think creatively about how can I get people to see the fact that I'm able to get results casually. That's the word. Casually get the results as I'm going about my day-to-day life. And you want to do 2 to 3 slides of that. You can do slide 5, slide 6, and slide 7 if you just want to over-deliver for your audience. The more slides you do here, remember, don't go more than 10. Because if you go more than 10, it's a little too overwhelming. If you go slide 1, 2, and 3 value slides, you're going to build a really good relationship with your audience. Hey, if you want these slides in this Google Doc, just go to my Instagram, drop me a follow, and then just send me a word with the word doc, D-O-C, and I'll send this over to you right now. Cool? So you're wondering, well, Richard, I get the framework now. How do I launch stories in the first 24 hours? So let me just break this down here so you can see this in live example, okay? So slide 1, so you see 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.5, 1.7. All of these here, okay, are just all different examples. Okay, so these here that I'm highlighting, these are all just different examples of the first slide. You don't want to do all of these. You just want to choose one. So here, for example, if I'm promoting a digital marketing offer, look at this. I can't believe this. Literally 1 7-second video just got 12,000 views overnight. And then I put a little screenshot here and I got a little shock face. So here's a great example of, this is my personal result, okay? This is an example of if we're traveling. I was on a plane traveling for 4 hours and my business did, $250 in sales, right? And this screenshot, I know it says 46,000. I just use that kind of as a template. So you could just look at this as a structure, right? But, the copy and the actual screenshot, obviously I know that's not 250, right? But the point is, that's what you would do, right? You would screenshot a sale and then you would say, hey guys, I was just traveling on a plane. So you see how this is a day in the life, right? Here, I just got out of the gym. It was crazy. I was just at the gym, I crushed it, and one of my students just made 46,000, right? And this is one of the students inside of our mentorship, right? You could do this one, for example, if you're driving my kids to school, and I saw this come in, and then you could add in a screenshot there as well, right? Again, here, I'm at a restaurant. I literally gained 500 views, and I was on autopilot, and it was done on autopilot when I was at date night with my wife. You see how simple that is? And you can see this photo of me in the day in the life, right? Student result. So this is, again, another version. Got out of the gym, took a photo. So people are like, oh, wow, Rich is in good shape. He's a fitness guy. So this builds a relationship with people who, like fitness. And then I'm also talking about the students that I have, right? This is another version that you could do is a poll. So a poll I like because when you do a poll like this, like you give them 2 options to click on, what happens is when people tap on a poll, it raises up the engagement and Instagram actually shows your story to more people. So who's ready to crush Monday? And you do a poll, that's actually pretty good as well, right? This would be, so that's this, all of what I just showed you, that's slide 1, okay? Slide 2 would be this. Do you want to learn how to make 5 to 10K from your phone without needing to show your face, only working 1 or 2 hours a day, right? This is just a simple example, specifically in my example, right, of something that I would post. So this is slide 2. I'm educating people a little bit more. I'm telling them more about what the opportunity is all about. And then slide 3, this is the call to action slide. If you want a free guide that shows you step-by-step how normal 9-to-5ers are making 5 to 10K per month, message me the word guide. So this right here is the call to action. And you see here how I'm pointing down, and so I'm telling people to send me a message, right? If I wanted to do a version where I didn't want people to message me, but I wanted them to click on the link, this is what I do. If you want a free guide that shows you how to achieve this, this, and this, click this right here, right? And remember, it doesn't matter what your offer is. If you're selling a fitness offer or a relationship offer, you would just simply change the copy here, okay? But the structure is going to be the exact same. And then here, I'm just for the sake of time, I'm not going to play it for you. I'll play the first couple seconds for you. But you'll see, all I'm doing is I'm summarizing everything that I just talked about, but in a video format, because again, remember, people consume information differently. So play this for a sec. Let me tell you, the only reason why I'm able to do this is because I learned the high income skill of digital arbitrage. And I'm serious when I say this, I'm just an ordinary 9-to-5er. So I'm normalizing myself. I'm really communicating. There's nothing special about me, which is true. I really don't believe there's anything special about me. And then also, I introduce the opportunity vehicle, which is in this case, it's digital arbitrage. 2 kids, I work a full-time job. I do this during my spare time in the evenings, at my lunch break. I work 1 to 2 hours a day on this. I'm talking about this as if I am a parent and I also have a 9-to-5 job, right? So you can see I'm normalizing myself, and I'm literally able to make 5,000 views, 10,000 views on command. Do you notice? I'm not even saying sales. I'm talking about views. I'm able to accumulate views because if you haven't made a sale yet, you don't have to talk about the fact that you've made a sale. You obviously want to tell the truth and be moral in what you say. So tell them about your wins that are non-financial, like views. Anyways, that's a whole stadium of people. And I'm able to do this completely on autopilot because I've learned the skill set. And we all know that attention results in money. And so right now, I'm going to be making my sales coming up very, very soon because I'm able to generate free attention, and I'm doing this without ads. It's crazy. You see here, this is really important for you to understand. I'm talking about how awesome generating content is for free, getting views, and I'm expanding on it and the importance of that when other people would just say simply, I just got 10,000 views. I just got 15,000 views. Do you see how I'm expanding on all these benefits? If I had to spend money in advertising, I had to spend thousands of dollars. 5,000 people, I know for some people, they might not think it's that big of a deal. 5,000 people physically is a massive audience of people. So you see, I'm expanding on the benefits and the gravity and the depth of every part to make it more dramatic, because that gets other people to realize, oh my gosh, he has a point. That's actually true. 5,000 views is a really big deal. So I'm getting other people to believe why this is such a big deal as well. Guys, if you want to invest and find out more, and here's the call to action now, information on the same mentorship that I invested into that's been changing my life, then DM me the word guide and I'll send, there's the call to action. You have a free guide on how you can get started for free on learning this as well. And so what happens is people go, oh wow, I'm a 9-to-5er, I have kids, and this guy's able to make 5,000 views, 10,000 views. Well, what's holding me back? Well, he's got a cool guide. Okay, I want the guide, so I'm going to message him right now. So you see, that's the belief pattern that's going to happen when people actually go through and look at your content. So I just gave you a very, very simple example, slide by slide, of what you're going to say. And for you, depending on what your offer is, just make the tweaks, okay? Now, in terms of how you launch, in the very first 24 hours, if you've never set up your stories before, you want to set up your highlights, okay? Your highlights are going to be part of the Instagram account that you can save, and it's basically permanently there, so that whenever someone new comes to your profile, they can always look at your highlights, okay? So when you look at these highlights, they're going to expire after 24 hours, but after they expire, they'll stay on your profile. So when you set up these highlights, what I like to do is within 2 to 3 slides into the highlight sequence, I like to have a tap here link, right? Because what's going to happen is whenever people come to your profile, they're going to see that Tap Here link and they're actually going to click on it and go and buy whatever it is that you're promoting, right? And this cool thing about that is these highlights are going to automatically sell for you even when you're not working, when you're sleeping, for example, because people will click on the highlights, they'll watch them, and then they'll actually click on them to find out more of who you are, right? For the highlights, the way that I like to set it up is the first 3 slides, I tell my story, okay? And actually, let me just pull you up my Instagram account so you can see this in action, okay? So if you look here at my highlights, I tell my story here, right? And if you click on this, and I would strongly recommend you go to my Instagram account and actually watch through it, I literally sit down in front of a camera, I set my camera there, and I tell people vulnerably, hey, this is what I used to suffer through, this is my story, and this is what I like to do better, right? So that's going to be the highlight there, okay? The second part, okay, is going to be my journey, right? How I got started. You can type it out as well. So for example, if you're doing a faceless, you can type it out. Or if you're doing a faceless, what I would recommend you do is you record the audio. So you don't show your face, but maybe you film your computer as you're talking, and then you do it through audio, right? But that's going to be my story. Then you want to have a, how does this work? What is this? So this is going to be 100% dependent on the offer you're promoting. But if you click on mine, because I sell a digital marketing offer, right? Digital arbitrage, what's going to happen as you go through this, you're going to see me explain what digital arbitrage is. And then I also show student results. And I like to keep it clean. So I have results and what the opportunity is all in one. Okay. You can split it into 2. You can have a what is this? And then you can also have another one called student results. But for me, just to keep it simple, I combine both of these, right? So I combine this and I combine these together, right? And then when you talk about results, you want to talk about the results of all possible. Okay. You can talk about your own results. You talk about your students' results, and then you talk about your peers' results, the people alongside with you. So, hey, these are all the students inside the program that I'm in. These are their results. These are my own personal results that I've achieved. And of course, out of respect for the students, you always want to block out sensitive information. So their last name, for example, or maybe you want to block out their Instagram handle or things like that. Just out of respect for your students, I would recommend you do something like that, okay? So right now, watch closely, because if you're unsure of any of the buttons that you're going to press, I'm actually going to show with you right now inside of your Instagram what you're going to be doing to navigate through these different things. So I'm going to see you on my phone right now. So you can see here, I have a couple of my photos. You can go to your most recent, and I'm going from an iPhone here. So I'll give you a couple of different examples. So let's use a fitness example here. Okay. Don't think, oh, Richard, I need to be in super good shape as well. This is just an example. Okay. So please don't freak out. Okay. I have a couple of examples here at a restaurant, here me and my wife on a plane, here me in a car, right? You can use whatever you want to use. Okay, these are just a couple of examples that I have chosen here. All right, so let's go ahead and use this one. So the very first thing that you can do is you can add a poll. So you see this little button at the top there, there's the A, there's the AA, you can type, and then right next to it, there's that little icon. We tap that icon here, and there's a whole bunch of things you can do. Now you see right here, this poll on the left side, I'm gonna tap on that poll. You see that? Tap on the poll, and then now there's the poll, right? You can do yes, no, you can type, let's for example go, who's having a good day here today? I crushed my workouts too, right? I gotta get back to the gym, right? So that's an example here, and then you can put it right there. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. I don't like to make it so aggressively big like that. That's too much, but something like that, that's a good size right there, right? And you're in really good shape. You want to obviously show good parts, right? So don't cover your face, don't cover your body. Like that just looks weird. Right? Use intuition, use common sense. Okay. So that's how you would go ahead and do that. And you see at the bottom left, it says your stories. That's how you would upload it. Now, if I wanted to go ahead and use the tap this link feature, okay, you see in the middle there that says link. So there's the link there. And then you can put in the website. I'm just going to go ahead and make up a random website here, but you're going to input the website link that our engineering team gave you, right? Your custom funnel. So let's go impactclients.co/go. Do not use this, okay, this is just an example. And then here is what you can put over the text. So you could say, get started now. Get started now. You can do that, right? You can put that here. You can go here, you can make it bigger, right? If you tap the link itself, you can change it into a couple different colors, right? So maybe you like this one. This is just up to your style, right? Now you see in the top right corner here, there's those 3 dots. You see that? You tap those 3 dots and you can hit draw. And I like to just draw, and then you see at the very bottom how I can slide between these different colors, right? I always like to use a little bit of a color arrow, so let's use that red. And I can draw a little arrow right there, all right? I can hit undo in the top left corner. You see that? The undo button. And then I can also slide this up and down so I can make the arrow fatter, right? You see how that's fat? If I shrink it down here, it's a little thinner, right? Now this obviously looks really ugly, so I would go ahead and undo all that, right? But that's just a feature if you want to continue to use it, right? If you can use that to circle stuff, do whatever you want there. Okay, now the next feature and then by the way, if you want to delete anything, you can just hold your finger and then you can just go ahead and put it in that trash can at the bottom and it's gone. The next feature that I want to show you is how to do the ask me a question. So you see here how at the top here, that one right there, it says questions. So you can tap the questions and now it says ask me a question, right? You can also change this text to something like, ask me your questions on DFM, right? If you're promoting DFM, you can say this with a smiley face. You can do that, right? Let's say you do that on a Sunday, so you can answer some questions. If we do that, you can draw another arrow just like I did before. And then when people actually ask you questions, it will show up in your story responses, but you obviously have to upload this in order to do that, okay? So that's how you do that there. Now, by the way, the purpose of this one is just to give you an overview of the different features. So like, don't think, oh, I got to do all this in one go. No. This just give you a tour of how this works, right? The next one you can do, so you go back to the top there, you see that in the middle. Go ahead and we're going to go to insert a photo. So you see here in the bottom here, it says photo, right? Photo. So you're going to tap photo and it's going to allow you to insert a photo. So let's say, for example, a very good one is you can insert your own results or you can insert the results of other clients. So for example, I'm going to use this top left photo here, the very top left corner. I'm going to tap that one. This is a student result. This is a pretty crazy. Chloe ended up doing $46,000 in a single day, right? So I can do that. I can drag here, right? I can also tap this differently. Now, I typically just go with the original one. I like it because it has the rounded corners. The corners of this rectangle aren't that sharp, right? And then obviously you need to add context, right? So you can just tap the screen anywhere on the screen, and then you can type, words. Chloe just did, 40K yesterday, right? A pro tip here is it's very important that there's recency. Right. So if when you talk about things, say, this just happened. Hey, this happened this morning. This just happened. Right. So, that's something that you could do. Chloe just did 40K yesterday. Right. Now, if I don't want to cover my body, because hey, I want to show people that I like working out, I can drag this up like that. Right. With this little slider. And then you see here in the top left corner, I can tap that icon to kind of shift the positioning. So I can move it here to this side. And then I can use two fingers and I can shrink this thing up and down. I just use my two thumbs and I shrink it up and down and I can, drag that over here. So you see how that looks so much nicer? So I got the student result, I got that, I got, chiseled body so that, I could argue, hey, that's gonna, increase more engagement. And then I tap the top three corners and I could also draw. And let's say I want to use a red arrow and then I can go here, boom, and I can point at that, right? So that's pretty cool. Like this, for example, could be one slide in a story if I'm making a point and I want to celebrate a client win. This photo can be anything. If you just gained first 5,000 views, hey, take a screenshot of that, right? And then upload that here. If you just got your first 10 followers, screenshot that, right? If you get your first sale, definitely screenshot that and put that there. These are all massive wins, right? And no matter what, regardless of what your wins are, you can always share other people's wins. Always share the testimonials inside of our community, which I will show you in a separate video training where you can find those testimonials, right? There's a separate video training that talks about that. Okay, so that's how you insert photo. Now you can also go find music. So at the very top here, you hit that. Let me cancel out here. So here you have music. You see out here on the left side, it says music. You hit music, and I recommend you use viral music. Okay, so these are all music that you can use. You can search for music. If you have any music saved, for example, if you're scrolling on Instagram and you like other people's songs, you can save them, right? But let's just say, for example, Drake. Drake's a pretty famous rapper, right? So you can use that.
Only not a stop. Shit don't never stop. This the flow that got the block hot. Shit got super hot. Hey, give me my respect. Only not a stop. Why shit don't never stop.
Now I'm gonna go ahead and exit and delete that music. If you saw in the top left corner there, if you do the music option, you can delete it. But that's how you choose the music, right? So these are all options here that you can do. So I'm not gonna save this, but you can save it as a draft. You can keep editing. And at any point, by the way, if you want to save this, you see how there's that little save icon right there? You can save it, and it's going to save directly to your camera roll. So now if I exit out of here, it's already there. It's just like this, okay? Now the one exception to this is if you put anything that has an effect, like if it's an ask me a question, if it's a poll, okay? If you save it, it's not going to save that effect. So if you save this, you're going to, let's say for example, I save this. Okay, let me save that. And then now I upload that new version. That poll is not active. So if I hit upload on this, this is not going to work. So what I need to do is I need to do the poll one more time. So I need to add that poll And then I need to, retype whatever it is I want to type. I need to position over the original poll. And now when I upload, that's going to work. Okay, that applies to basically everything. That applies to click the link. That applies to ask me a question. That applies to polls. So anything that's active, it's very important that very important that you re-add the poll. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Okay. And then one more that I want to cover here. So let's use this photo is a promo date. So for example, we are doing a price increase on our program. Right. You're going to want, or maybe we're doing some kind of awesome promo. Maybe there's a discount, or maybe we give them access to some free bonus. You're going to do this countdown here. Okay. And let's say, for example, it's $100 off. So you say, save, get $100 off, $100 off, I will give you the copy likely on coaching calls or if people in the community you can model after, but we say, $100 off running out, right? And then let's say that everyone, when I give you the promo, I say, hey, this is going to end, let's say on May 30th, 2024, right? Generally, we're not going to do a promo for more than 14 days. Otherwise, there's no urgency, right? So let's say it's a promo for April 30th, 2024. That's only, that's weird, 2024. That, at the time of this recording, is, let's go May 1st. Right, so you can see here's just a good example. So you see now it says 15 hours, 30 minutes, and 38 seconds, right? So you can put that there, right? And so now, whenever you do something like that, I would always do a timer and pair that up with a call to action. Like you can say, DM me, guide, and I'll send you a free guide, right? And you can always add an emoji. So you add here, and you do the down emoji, you do the size on it, you center that, make it look nice, you put that right there. Right, you can always do something like that. So this is a really good example, right? You can also put the link there, right? I showed you how to do that already. But this is how you do a timer, and that timer is really important for when you do the promo dates. Okay. So these are all a few examples. We covered poll, we covered tap this link, we covered ask me a question, how to insert photos, choose music, promo dates. Okay. So this is basically the how to navigate your stories, to upload everything related, basically the most important things that you need for stories, you now know how to do. So now you know exactly how the iPhone looks like in terms of how you can set up everything in the stories. I'm going to give you a 7-day content calendar. And this content calendar, you can literally cycle through on a weekly basis, right? So every single Monday, you're going to do this, and then you can do this through Sunday, and then every week just repeat. So Mondays, I always like to do motivational Monday. So the first slide, maybe it's working out, maybe it's you coming off of a run. Do something because everyone's coming off of the weekend, like, I got to get back on Monday. So you want to motivate the people who watch you, okay? Tuesday, you can do Vulnerability Tuesday. So every Tuesday, you can tell your own story. Hey, this is who I used to be. This is what I used to struggle with. Wednesday, you can do Belief Shifting Wednesday. So what are some concerns that people have about your offer? Or what are limiting beliefs that people have that cause them to think that they can't be successful? And you want to talk about those in your content, okay? Thursday, you could do Student Spotlight. So you can highlight someone inside of your program or inside of the community that you're part of and screenshot that, right? And then talk about it and really shout out and recognize that person and then share with your audience, hey, how did this person become successful, right? Friday, you could do Vulnerability Friday again, like what you did, or you go Transformation Friday, which is in addition to being vulnerable, you could share the after. So you share the before and the after. So fitness is a really easy way, right? You can see if you took a photo of yourself when you used to be really out of shape, you're really overweight, for example, and then boom, now 6-pack abs. And you can share the very, very clear before and after. That's what you do here. Show the before and after, okay? Saturday, because it's the weekend, you want to share people with lifestyle. So, hey, this is me. I'm going out with my family to a nice restaurant. I'm going out and I'm doing fun stuff with my family, right? You want to share results as well. So, hey, I'm able to do this, this, and this while I'm having a good life, right? I'm making sales. I'm getting views on my stories. I'm able to, if you're selling fitness, I get to eat whatever I want to eat on the weekends. You want to share people your lifestyle, right? And then finally on Sunday, I would do Q&A. So you could do lifestyle, same thing as Saturday, but then you can also do a Q&A. So for example, on Saturday, right before you end your stories, your very final slide, you could do an ask me a question, right? Because what's going to happen is over the next 10 to 12 hours, people are going to start asking you questions. And then on Sunday, you can answer those questions, right? You can go ahead and you can answer those questions, answer them, and that's going to build a relationship with people. Now you know how to get people to raise their hand and want to buy your product, but how do you DM them to actually close the deal? So in this video right here, check it out. I'm going to give you the word-for-word DN script that you can copy and paste to send messages to your followers in order to convert followers and conversations into actual sales. I'll see you in that video.